Our next guests boast around 4 million followers online and billions of streams.
Mommy. Oh, yay.
They've blown up over the past few years and even worked with names like Shaq, Margot Robbie and Jason Momoa.
Hey, champ.
Please welcome Liam, Dom, Jack and Falcon, aka the Inspired Unemployed.
Fellas, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Congratulations on the brand new show, Impractical Jokers.
Thank you.
I caught the first episode last night, but for people who haven't seen it yet, have not seen the promos, Jack, can you explain how the show sort of works?
Yeah, so it's a hidden camera prank show. It's been going in America for about 12 seasons now, Impractical Jokers. So one of us goes out and poses as like a PT instructor or a waitress or a massage therapist, and then the other three are backstage with a microphone telling you to do whatever the hell they want, like in the moment. So it's really, really cringe and a hard watch.
I'm glad you said the word cringe, because I mean this in the nicest way possible, but it's a tough watch.
It's
like
so
literally,
tough.
I was like, oh man, how are they doing this to each other?
And everyone wants to know what the reveal was like when you tell them, because that's the most awful.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like, what happened?
Do you keep any of that footage for like the end of the or is like a little bonus series coming out?
We do have the footage there, so maybe on like socials and stuff we put it out. But
I getcha.
It's a real weird thing. It's hard for people to process when you're like, all right, we're on a hidden camera show, and they're like, what? They don't get it, because I feel like
they're in shock. They're in shock, and they think that most time they feel like you have an actual issue, like because you're that weird. They're like, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah. So people would know you mostly from TikTok, Insta, mostly online, and your videos absolutely crush, as we know. But now TV, it's a whole nother world. Like, what was the biggest difference? Like, obviously the time and effort and the crew behind it. Was that the biggest hurdle for you, not just picking up your phone and filming?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, definitely. On the first day. You know, because we're just used to shooting on iPhones, like running around and being idiots.
And putting it out that night or something. It's a bit different.
And then I remember first day on set, and, you know, we've been on a few sets before, but, like, when everyone's there, like, for you, and they're expecting you to know what to do, and they're going, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, what do we do? There's, like, 4 cameras, like, 30 people around you, and you're like...
Especially Liam's still a Sparky. Like, people don't know that.
Right.
I'm still coming off the job site. So, yeah, when we were doing these meetings, I was like, oh, okay, there's actually a few people here. And then when we got to the set for the first day, there was literally
You got
30
lighting,
people.
you got cameras, but you know what you also get? Catering.
Or smoko, as you call it.
Smoko.
Dom, is there any like particular like scene you had to film that you're still sort of thinking about when you go to sleep at night? You're like, oh my god, like why did I do that?
There is one in particular. So if you fail the challenges, you have to do a punishment.
Yes.
So I think it's about episode 4 or so. I got stitched up. I had no idea what was happening, but I had to go to a men's health forum. And basically this guy was checking testicles. He was a doctor.
Yes.
Thank God. And he was also testing prostate. So the boys, they were in my ear, and I had to volunteer for both of those things in front of a live audience of about 50 people or so.
So you got a free checkup.
That's it. 100%. And I'm healthy, so it all came out well.
Good to hear. There was one that people, I don't want to reveal too much about the show because people can check it out, Paramount Plus, and it's been played out on Channel 10 and 10 Play as well. But Jack, at the end of the first episode, you do a wedding speech, and like, you know, so you're obviously not friends with these people. You don't know them. And the bride and groom, I believe, knew, but like no one else at the wedding knew.
No.
And some of the stuff they were getting you to say,
mate,
like I was like, just please stop. Like, and they looked like they wanted to like actually punch you.
No, they
like,
did. They really did. Like I was saying, you know, in front of the mum and dad and aunties and uncles, like they're like half a metre from me, and I'm going, you know, marriages, you know, as you know, guys, they're set up to fail. Like 50% of marriages never work out. And one lady was trying to stand up and stop the show, and the uncle was like pulling her back down. It was, and they didn't put in before I went out there, this guy was doing a speech. You could see that in the show, but what he was saying was about one of the family members that had passed away.
Oh, no.
And everyone was like crying, like bawling their eyes out. I'm going, guys, I'm not doing it. I can't go out there. And they're like, all right, good luck, Jacko.
And we were literally straight after him. So everyone was there crying, and then Jack walks up there and he has to read this speech. And he's like, so he doesn't know what he's reading until he's reading it. So we wrote the...
And there's all your classics, like the things that you would like the least the last thing you'd want to say at a
Oh,
wedding.
yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, you know, the Bucks show, and you know, Brenda and Candy really looked after the groom, looked after me shortly after as well.
And then I'm like, oh, I didn't want to come tonight because the groomsmen are a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah.
And then they didn't put it in either, but it's like, I think one of you guys said, all right, now turn around and scull his beer. And these guys didn't know who I was. They had no idea. They're like, who is this random doing a speech? And then I turned around, I'm looking him in the eyes, sculling. I picked his beer up and I'm finished his beer. And he's like, I could see he wanted to kill me. Like, in his eyes.
And look, these are all bad, but I think that there's one particular thing that you had to do, Matt, on stage. Which I actually think, like, to be honest, like, I would rather have the exam, the prostate exam, in front of people than have to go through what you had to go through.
This was traumatic. This was honestly one of the worst things that's ever happened to me in my entire life. So they stitched me up where they got me to go to a stand-up comedy gig. Like, it was sold out at the comedy show in Sydney, and like, stand-up comedy scares the crap out of me. I've never wanted to do it.
It's his biggest fear. That's what we picked the biggest fears of our mates. That's
And they had a shock collar strapped to me as while this was happening. So anyway, usually in the show they're like, just, you know, you have to copy everything that they say.
Yeah, of course.
And they're like, don't worry. I was rattled, and like, don't worry, like, just listen and just say everything that we tell you. I was like, all right. I just thought they were gonna give me some bad jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I go up on stage and they go, all right, my first joke is. So I repeat. I go, all right, guys, my first joke is. And I like pause for a bit and they just go, good luck. So I had absolute no material in front of this sold-out crowd.
Dude,
and like,
it bombed so hard. So hard. And then
that's an understatement.
And we put a 1 minute timer on. When we said good luck, we put a 1 minute timer on, and we went radio silence. So he's and then he looked crazy because he's going, help me, guys. But he was saying it into the microphone by accident, so people could hear him saying, help me in the crowd.
Like,
There's surely, like, you guys are getting to the point now where everyone's going to recognize you.
Well, they
like,
did. That's made it worse. So everyone's going, and they're like,
he crushes online. He's going to be sick.
oh, and then like I was bombing so hard, and then every now and again, like some girl in the crowd would be like, Inspired Unemployed. And I'm like, shut up.
And you're there just crying on the
like, this is
inside.
the worst.
Well, make sure you check out the show, The Inspired Unemployed, Impractical Jokers. It's out now on 10 and 10 Player. If you can't wait that long, just binge it all in one hit on Paramount Plus. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you guys. Cheers.